Haaretz, a publication in Israel, admits that the IDF ordered the Hannibal Directive on October 7th after initially smearing journalists who made this claim months ago. There was crazy hysteria. Decisions were made without verified information. Yup, the documents and testimonies obtained by Haaretz prove that the Hannibal order wasn't implied or insinuated, but they actually used the word Hannibal. One example was at 7:18 a.m. at the Yifta Post. After they realized one of the IDF soldiers had been captured, the order was given, Hannibal at arrest, and it came from the divisional headquarters. They dispatched the Zeke, which is a drone, and they handled their business. At 7:41 a.m., the order was given again. That wasn't the last time it was given. In fact, there were multiple times after this that the Hannibal Directive was explicitly given to kill Israeli soldiers so that they would not fall into captivity by Hamas. Do y'all know how many of us were attacked, smeared, berated as anti-Semitic because we reported that the Hannibal Directive had been used? And most of us used reporting directly from Israeli documents before to prove that information. Here, Max Blumenthal points out that Haaretz pegged him as a manipulator for reporting on the Israeli army's killing of many Israeli citizens on October 7th. Max also points out that the Washington Post published 2 lie-filled smears about members of the Gray Zone for helping to expose the Hannibal Directive scandal. Roger Waters tried to explain this to Piers Morgan, explaining that Israel was responsible for some of the death toll that day on October 7th, and Piers just shrugged him off. Like, nah, that's not true. Bro, Sam Husseini tried to ask State Department spokesperson Miller about the Hannibal Directive just last month, and the State Department allegedly never heard of this Hannibal Directive. And I just love how you have all of these propagandists playing stupid or naive as they attack actual journalists for doing their job. Because it was literally in a Haaretz article that the Hannibal Directive is a thing. It was just canceled allegedly in 2016 by Israel's chief of staff. Yet another lie by Israel. Surprise, surprise. But as usual, it gets deeper. Now, we all know by now that Israel had advanced knowledge of October 7th before it happened and basically did nothing about it. But what was even crazier is the fact that we found out, thanks to reporting by people like Ben Swan, that they knew that the party goers were being shot at the festival at 7 a.m. and told them to fend for themselves. The shooting started at 7 a.m. The IDF didn't show up until 3 p.m. And the military officer responsible for telling them to fend for themselves just so happened to be responsible for the fact that the festival was moved from another area to the border of Gaza that day. So he moved them into the danger and then told them to fend for themselves. So just in case we're keeping score here, journalists were attacked for saying that Israel was at least partially responsible for the lives lost that day, and it turned out we were right. They weren't just indirectly responsible, they literally gave an order to kill Israelis that day. And in at least one instance, a group was moved from a safe location to a dangerous location and then told to fend for themselves as they were being mowed down. So just like the violence we've seen from Israel since October 7th has been so destructive that it seems to have nothing to do with protecting the hostages or targeting Hamas, it seems like even the day of October 7th, all the damage that Israel wreaked that day had nothing to do with protecting or saving Israeli hostages and had nothing to do with specifically targeting Hamas. It's almost as if they were looking for a reason to go into Gaza, and October 7th gave them that reason. Now, if you want to call me a conspiracy theory for that, go right ahead.